What is up, my dudes and dudettes? Welcome back to Scrap Mechanics Survival Planes. Last time we finished up our Learjet, modifying it for the survival world and just making it kind of a practical flyer to get from A to B, you know, without a real purpose like transporting stuff or doing other stuff that's important for the game. So today we're gonna start a new project that is related to the very beginning of the game. As you see, once again, we're back at the burning ship. And of course, these fires are dangerous. As you see, there's a lot of burned trees already. There's some live trees around as well, so it would be a good idea. It would be nice. It would be a nice move to just put those fires out and, you know, save the rest of the forest. And since, you know, everything on this channel is related to flying, of course, we're gonna build a firefighting plane. I chose probably the most famous firefighting planes. Chances are you have seen this plane already. It's a CL-145, which is, I think, a Canadian plane, and also a seaplane, which is cool because we got the water here. Why not use it? It's still pretty new, and yeah, my planes before were, of course, all or almost all of them were land-based planes because we didn't have water. We didn't have a water mod, which was really cool, but of course not perfect. So I did one float plane, two float planes to be exact. I did the Husky float plane and also the Learjet with the floats. But to be honest, I didn't really use them. So basically all of my planes were land-based. But now there's water in survival and also water coming to the creative world. So let's build some seaplanes. So the goal for today will be basically building the plane and making it fly. Of course, that means I'm gonna jump a lot. You know, I'm gonna show you a montage of the building process, which was done in the creative world because it's just much more convenient to build what you can in the creative world and then just importing it to the survival world. But as I mentioned in the first episode of the survival series, the problem with importing stuff is it's welded to the world, and every part of it that's separated by bearings or pistons gets welded as well. So what I did was I built the plane, the basic shape of the plane, but without the moving parts. So all the control surfaces, you know, the gear system, it's all missing. So we're gonna import this plane here, finish it up, paint it up, and implement all the necessary systems to make it fly. And I'm also not gonna show you that again because we did it with the Learjet. I explained everything, what I did. So this is, it's the same process. I'm gonna build a control system, a thrust system, power control for the propellers, a gear system, flaps, all that stuff, all that standard stuff that was also in the Learjet. So I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to build it off screen, and then in the end we're going to go for a little test flight. So first of all, here's the building process of the basic shape of the plane. put it in the water now for the first time and see how it floats. Yeah, that's not looking too bad now. It's not going too deep into the water. It's gonna get a whole bit heavier, of course. We're gonna have the water pumps, you know, the vacuum pumps to get the water, and also the water cannons. It's called the water cannons. And we're gonna have a lot of them, at least a few of them, because they don't output too much water at once. They have the cool down time. So we're gonna have a row, maybe 2 rows of 3 or 4 of them. Whatever works. If it gets too heavy, we have to reduce maybe. But of course, we want to output a lot of water at once. But yeah, that's promising. It's looking good. I'm really happy with that. Awesome. So let's make it fly. So here's the plane with all the control surfaces attached, and I also went to the mechanic station and got all the necessary components to build ourselves the water tank system. So first, let's build that system in, because it's going to be very heavy, and if we have problems with the weight, we have to address them first, and then we're going to build in the systems necessary for flight. Let's do it now. Here's the plane now with the water cannons and the vacuum pumps and the storage already installed. And as you see, it's heavy. It's sitting way lower in the water. But as long as it is able to get out of the water, this shouldn't be a problem, I hope. Otherwise, I got 2 sets of 3 water cannons now. We can reduce them by 1. 1 per side, of course, too. If that is necessary. No, otherwise that's fine for me if it sits in the water that low. So now, as a final touch, let's bring in all the systems necessary for flight. Okay, now that very basic systems have been built, it's time for our first flight test. Right, so apparently I need to work on the propellers or on the RPM of those propellers, because that does not seem like it's enough. So let me do that. Good, so I doubled now the angles on the propellers, so that should give us a lot more thrust. So let's try it out. Let's go. Sure, why not? Let's try it again. Okay, and second try, let's go. Yes! Okay, it's nose heavy, but oh, that's looking very nice already. Okay, awesome. First of all, we definitely need a rudder. These control surfaces, they're producing what's called adverse yaw. I don't know if you've seen it before, if I talked about this before. Adverse yaw is when you want to roll into a certain direction, roll into a turn, and let's say you're rolling into a left turn. This will have the nose of the airplane yawing to the right, because these control surfaces, of course, they are part of the wing and they also produce lift. Now, when we, let's stay with the left-hand turn example, when we roll into a turn, these this surface will deflect downwards, and on the other side, of course, it will deflect upwards. So this side of the wing here will produce more lift, rolling the plane into a turn, but more lift, of course, also means more drag. So here on this side, on the right side, we have more drag, whereas on the other side, we have less drag, meaning that we have a force, a yaw force, that forces the nose to the right, to the outside of the turn. And that's why we need the rudder. And do I want to build an automated rudder? I think I'm just gonna add a control input just to the rudder. That should be fine. Let me try that now. Okay, that looks a bit aggressive, but let's see what happens. Send it. Actually, that doesn't look too bad at all. It's still kind of slow, so maybe if we reduce the flap angle, we should go a little bit faster. So then the control surfaces also should work better. Let's go down to 15, maybe 20. Let's go to 20 degrees flaps. And then test it out again. It's not flying too nicely for now. There's still some stuff to be done, obviously. Okay. Alright, let's roll. Oh, great. Yes. Someone told me that this getting kicked out of the seat issue is because if the tiles are not stitched together correctly. You know, if there's, you know how sometimes you fall through the water and can just walk on the ocean floor. That's related to that. Oh yeah, please stay there. I didn't add the safety switch yet that turns off the engines when I'm not in the seat, so that's next on the agenda, I guess. This is evolution at work. Have a look at this. It's trying to come out of the water. You're trying to walk, aren't you? Oh no, stay. Please stay. Come on, stay. There we go. Okay, let me put in the safety and also add some wings for trimming so we don't have the constant pitching down. Okay, let us see how that works now. Getting into the seat, so the engines should start. I put a very small idle value on the engines just when I'm in the seat, so they start up, but they don't really produce any thrust now. So now let me step on the gas a little bit, get out of the seat. Awesome, engines are turning off. That's exactly what I want to see. Good. Also put some 30 degrees wings in the front, so that should help us get the nose up in flight. Let's see if it's enough, if it's not enough, if it's excessive. Let's find out proper number of wings we need. Let's get in. Let's go. Okay, we need some more wings in the front, but it's really not looking bad. That's looking bad though. Yeah, really, it's not going to be the best flyer I ever built, to be honest. But as long as it flies, the main goal here is, of course, to build a firefighting plane that uses the water cannons. As long as that is working, I'm fine with that. And I mean, I guess it's flying decently. Just a tiny little bit, just a tiny little bit more nose up trim. And that's cool then. So after some work and some tweaking, here's where we're at. The plane is flyable, the flaps are working, the control surfaces are working. It's flying decently, it's definitely not my best build, but I just wanted to function. I wanted to be able to collect the water and drop the water onto a fire. And the plane does it, so there's no worries from my side. So I can't complain from my side. You see, we're just now filling the tanks. There's a little window on the side below the propeller. So the tanks are getting filled, and we can dump the water out of the plane. The problem, as always, it has been we're getting kicked out. We're getting kicked out. I don't know. It is so frustrating, folks. I'll tell you that. I mean, I can show you where we're at so far, but we cannot fly for a long time. Eventually we're gonna get kicked out, and we have to search for our plane, and then we can get in again, only to be kicked out a few seconds later. So if we could solve that problem, then everything would be alright. So we're finding the takeoff power. Just a little more now, just a little more. And we're lifting out of the water, reducing the thrust, and doing a steep curve already towards the shore, because walking, of course, is faster than swimming. And you see, it's lagging. I think it also has something to do with how laggy the creation is. If you bring a laggy creation from one tile to another, that's gonna cause problems, I think, because we had way more problems with the Boeing than with the Learjet, and in the Learjet we only had problems towards the end when the systems got a little more complicated. So there wasn't really lag with the Learjet, but it got more complicated, and you could see a slight drop in the frames, and probably that's already enough. So you have to bring that creation from one tile to another, and there's the problem, I guess. If I really knew what it was, maybe I could do something to fix it, but jeez, it's just in a way for me at the moment. And I would love to just finish this build and, you know, use it and fly around and have fun. Also, I built a gear system, but somehow it looks to me as if I kind of screwed up. The right wheel is higher than the left wheel. Is that possible? Looks like the right wheel is... No, it's not. Okay, but we can test it out if we're not getting kicked out of the seat right now. Let's lower the gear. And let's land here. Let's land here and end the episode for the day. Ah, jeez. That was not a good landing. We're gonna do that again. Let me kill that greenie here. Let's try again. Alrighty, once again we're approaching. With a good power setting here. Oh, that's looking better, that's looking better. Let's touch down softly and end the episode. Come on. Come on. Oh, yes. Very nice. Very nice. So folks, that's it for today, and I think I'm gonna do some tweaking off screen. So next episode we're gonna paint this plane up, get everything ready, get the water tanks full, and go for a flight and do some firefighting. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, comment, leave any suggestions in the comments, things that you would like to see in the survival plane series, all that stuff. You can also check out my workshop. My Steam profile is also called Left Playing. There's a few cool planes on there. And thank you all for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.